Hey everybody, we're about to check out a HBO documentary trailer, Beware the Slender Man, which I'm going to assume has nothing to, is not a documentary about the making of the video game and the video games and the uprising that itself, but it's probably going to be exploring the weird place it started, like, and I think it was like, well, obviously there was this tale, and then it got taken to Reddit or something like that, and then like people, or some weird forum place, and they were like, people like, drawing up what you'd look like, and people started all this fan tailing stuff, which I'm reading, like, I remember reading stories about it, because they're gonna, obviously, the other thing this will be tackling about is like the weird things that happened after the big height of Slender Man. Those two girls like stabbed someone at the school, or some really fucked up weird shit, and said they did it for Slender Man, which is, just horrible, of course. I forgot where I was going. So that's horrible. I remember reading like people commenting stories and stuff like that about like when those girls did that, and someone wrote up a story on a news website about like the history of Slender Man, how it all started and all this, and people in the comments like, sick people like starting stories like this in a forum, and I was like, which I never got. I was like, so people like went onto a forum somewhere and like collectively between them all invented this big, the story that they all knew was fake, but they was kind of inventing this like horror story based around these pictures and weird things, and like people were photoshopping stuff and all this, and I was like, I don't per se see an issue with that. Why are we having an issue with people? That part never made any sense to me. The video game, of course, where I first heard of it, the original 5 pages thing, and then when they put out the proper Slender Man game, and I think as with freaking everyone, because I don't know if anyone knows, but I do put up gaming videos on this channel too. Years and years ago, when I first, a couple of years, 3-4 years ago, I suppose now, when it was at the height, of course, I did a Slender Man playthrough. And that game legit scares me, because it's just 100% jump scare. Slender Man is a scary looking dude, and you don't want to turn around and see that. But this is not going to, I doubt this will have anything to do with the video game, and how the Let's Play stuff about it is going to be more serious. I don't know how you tackle this tale though, like what are we looking, so it will have the girls, we'll just jump into it.
The palest man, the blackest suit, bigger than the tallest fruit.
Oh yeah, there was that YouTube channel that did all the...
You can do what no one can.
Yeah, there was that YouTube channel that did like couple-minute episodes like every week. So.
Wire and Geyser are accused of stabbing the friend and leaving her for dead.
Police say the suspects were inspired by a character on a website.
Slender Man, a faceless ghoul.
We never thought she could possibly believe that it was real.
Anisha told me we had to. She said that he'd kill our families.
Who's he?
A man. He can be anywhere from 6 feet to 14 feet tall. He doesn't have a face. His skin is white.
She needed to prove that Slender Man existed, and would be able to do that by killing somebody.
You forget how much it sucks to be a kid.
They don't know how to differentiate between
That's
fantasy
one
and
of
reality.
the first pictures I saw as well.
Are captivated by Slender Man. That's what I call power.
To believe in the boogeyman isn't that hard, and they believed it was real.
She lifts up her neck and shows me the handle of a knife.
What were you thinking?
Dear God, this is really happening.
Beware the Slender Man. Yes, I don't know. I'm not sure what the overarching story, like which direction or whatever they're taking it. The thing I was thinking while I was watching it though was like they're talking about like, oh, people really thought it was real, and like all these things. And if people like have this small thought in their head, they're like, what if the Slender Man is real? That's a sign of like a good horror story, horror trope, I suppose, or whatever you want to call, like horror history. Because people still, as a kid, Ouija boards or standing in the mirror, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, all that sort of thing. Even I was little, I watched Beetlejuice, and I was walking around the house for like next week, being like, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, and I wouldn't say it because I'm like, what if? of course, killing someone over something like that is completely different to having that small thing in your head being like, what if I do say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror? What I wonder what if would happen. And most of the time, these things, of course, sleepover games for teenagers, young kids, or whatever, you know. Oh, giggle, mirror, Bloody Mary, bloody, like all these, like those. Go watch like those 3 urban legends movies. That's what they're all about, especially the first one, I suppose. So yeah, I'm not sure what the narrative take on it is, and like what, if it's just exploring why they did it, or if it's exploring the rights and wrongs of like the creation of Slender Man, or like the kids growing up, like their ability, I don't know, parenting. I'm not really sure, but I am interested to check it out because of it's a really messed up case that is at the same time interesting, of course, and Slender Man himself is interesting, and horror stories and themselves and like histories behind them and how they were created and stuff like that is all interesting. So yeah, I am interested to check that out. The trailer can get one of these because I'm like, it was like a lot of reused footage from stuff, and I'm sure that the trailer, it just kind of seemed like a chopped together YouTube documentary, not like a HBO level documentary where people have put more, you know, that looked like a trailer for a documentary that someone on YouTube's made by chopping up footage between other people's stuff to create their own thing. So it didn't really look to have a HBO documentary quality, but whatever. I'm still interested, so yeah, one of those, of course, and I'll catch you in the next one.